Okay, so good afternoon and good evening to all of our panelists and our viewers. Thank you so much for giving us your time. Okay, so welcome to our webinar, the Study and Work in Japan, session number 32. I am Ray Takahashi from the University of Tokyo, Bangladesh office, and I will be acting as the main facilitator for this webinar. So today we have with us a wonderful set of panelists, three esteemed universities. Ms. Kushi, could you share the agenda slide, please? Thank you. So as you can see, today we have with us a wonderful set of panelists, three esteemed universities from Japan, and we will be hearing from them about the details of each and every universities, and we have the opportunity to ask them direct questions in the chat box. So please, sorry, my bad. Do not use the chat box. There is a different section called the Q&A box. Please use that Q&A box for your questions. So without further ado, I would like to give the floor to Ms. Sakshi Roy, the University of Tokyo, India office.
Thank you, Mr. Takahashi, for the introduction. Am I clearly audible?
Yes, clearly audible.
Thank you very much. Let me share my screen. Okay, my screen is visible, I guess.
Yes, it is visible.
Thank you very much. So good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this webinar, Study and Work in Japan, session 32. My name is Sakshi Roy, and this program is hosted by the University of Tokyo, India office and brought to you by MEX, the Ministry of Education, Culture, Sports, Science and Technology in Japan. So first of all, before giving you a brief introduction about our project, I would like to thank all of you. We are so glad that you have participated in our webinars. Thank you for supporting our online seminars by attending, and to all our panelists, thank you for contributing into this webinar. So before we start, let me give you a brief introduction about our office. Our office is a part of Study in Japan Global Network Project in Southwest Asia by MEXT, and we provide comprehensive information on Japanese universities. We organize education fairs and seminars throughout India to spread awareness about higher education opportunities in Japan. So today is session 32 of Study and Work in Japan webinar series. And by means of all these sessions, our mission is to introduce Japanese universities to you and to assist you to study and work in Japan. So there will be 3 different Japanese universities representing in each session: national, public, and private universities. And all the universities are basically focusing to introduce English-based programs that are offered by them. There has been approximately 700 plus universities in Japan. So you have so many options to choose from world-class universities, and there have been nearly 30 major esteemed Japanese universities are going to participate in our webinar series, and they are ranked among the top universities in the world. So if you consider studies in Japan, you learn from the very best in the world, and once you graduate from a reputed university with a good level of work in Japanese, you can easily get a job in some of the best MNCs, not only in Japan, but in the other countries as well. So it's really a great opportunity for all of you to participate in our webinars, and you can directly ask your queries to representatives of each universities. And lastly, I would like to request all of you to please note down the contact addresses of each universities, and then if you have any questions, you can directly contact them later on. Also, you can scan this QR code visible on your screen right now to register for our upcoming webinars. And this is the email address of our office. In case if you have any questions, please feel free to contact us. We would be very happy to assist you. So thank you very much for tuning into this webinar, and we request you all to please stay till the end. We have a lot of useful information to share with you, and we hope you will enjoy the experience and receive beneficial information from our webinars. Thank you very much. Please enjoy today's session.
So thank you so much, Ms. Sakshi, for your wonderful presentation. So basically, I think this is a wonderful opportunity to actually get to talk to the universities in Japan, and they would be sharing their universities with the audience. And without further ado, we would like to hear from someone who is actually studying and living in Japan. Right? So Ms. Kushi.
Thank you, Mr. Takahashi. I share my screen. I hope you can see my screen.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. So a very good evening to all the panelists and attendees. I'm Kushi Javedi from Kyoto University, and today I'll be talking about the study and work life in Japan. So I'll start by giving a brief introduction about myself. I was raised in Tokyo and I graduated from an international school in Tokyo. I'm currently doing my bachelor's degree in environmental engineering and computer science at Kyoto University. I'm also a member of the India-Japan Laboratory, the GIS Laboratory, and the the SDPE Laboratory at Kyoto University. I'm also the recipient of Kyoto University Scholarship, and I've previously interned at Shibata Institute of Technology, Hitachi, and Tsukuba University. And I was a member of the Social Innovation Hackathon that was held last year in collaboration with IIT and NIT. So now I'll be talking about why should you choose Japan as your destination to pursue further studies. Firstly, Japan is the third largest economy in the world with a population of 126 million and 47 prefectures. It is a member of the G7 summit with other developed countries including US, UK, Canada, and Germany. Japan ranks 9th in the Global Peace Index and has topped the Safe Cities Index for the third time. There are also a range of international cuisines such as Indian, Italian, Nepalese, and Japanese available to students coming from the overseas. Recently, culturally appropriate food, including halal, vegetarian, and vegan options, are also available. Health policies have proved to be very beneficial to international students as 70% of the costs are paid by the government. Some of the other advantages include job prospects, scholarships, and transportation, which will be explained later into the presentation. So Japanese universities are categorized into national, that are founded by the Japanese government, public, that are led by local public entities, and private, that are based on founders. Japanese universities provide essential resources to aid the personal and professional growth of students. Universities support them by providing student services and facilities including libraries, research labs, student lounge, gymnasiums, and dormitories, as you can see on the right. There are several universities in Japan that offer English programs at undergraduate, graduate, and doctoral levels. In Japan, undergraduate programs are for 4 years, graduate for 1 or 2 depending on the program you're applying for, and doctoral for 3 to 4 years. The English programs in Japan are well renowned as they provide a range of degrees at an affordable price in comparison to other countries like Canada and the US. So the fee structure is undoubtedly an important aspect while applying to universities. I certainly believe that Japan is one of the most affordable countries for students to pursue their further studies, as the tuition fee of international students and domestic students is the same, which is very rare. And as you can infer from the chart, the tuition fee of public universities in the US is 5 times higher than the ones in Japan, while the private universities in the US is 3 times more. The living expenses are similar, but Japan is cheaper than the US in terms of overall education. Financial assistance is also provided by universities or the Japanese government in the form of internal and external scholarships. The MEC scholarship and the JASO scholarship are some of the well-known scholarships, as most of the international students have acquired them to reduce their financial burden. I have listed a couple of basic documents that most of the universities ask for applying to English undergraduate programs. For more details, I recommend you check the application guidelines of the program you wish to enroll in. In order to apply for the master's or PhD courses, it is crucial for the applicant to contact the supervisor of the program for admission assistance. Now, I would like to elaborate on the job prospects in Japan. The job opportunities in Japan are countless, and several benefits come along once you work for a company here. Graduates from Japanese universities usually tend to work for multinational companies such as Amazon, Google, and Toyota. Graduates, especially with a computer background, have a great scope in Japan. The average salary after graduation is minimum 2.5 million yen per year, which is 17 lakh rupees. Japan also has the lowest unemployment rate, which is 2.34%. And visa procurement is not a very tedious process, and the student visa can be upgraded to working visa if the student is able to find a job within Japan. Now, as you can see in this chart, the number of dispositions for employment purposes from international students has been escalating over the years. 2019 witnessed double the capacity of international students than in 2017. There's a 50% increase in the number of students and professors coming from the overseas. The number of international students from Southeast Asia has been increasing because of the wide job prospects in Japan. Hence, many international students come to Japan with the aim to pursue further studies. Another very interesting and distinct feature of studying in Japan is the opportunity to experience various seasons. Compared to other countries, Japan does not experience harsh climates. One can enjoy different seasons in the country, for example, witnessing cherry blossoms in spring, snow in winters, and the fall foliage in autumn. The diverse weather conditions give students the chance to experience different seasons and travel across the country. Lastly, I'll talk a little about my student life in Japan. I can certainly say that my university has opened doors to several opportunities and experiences. I have been able to engage in various activities and have also interacted with students from diverse backgrounds. The picture on the right, as you can see, is from an event called the Sokeisen, which is a term used for the baseball rivalry between two prestigious universities, Keio University and Waseda University. The picture on the upper right is from the hackathon that was held last year in collaboration with IIT and NIT. In the India-Japan laboratory, we conduct social and cultural events so that students from both countries can communicate and collaborate. In the GIS laboratory, we aim to approach different challenges of the environment using computer-based tools. And to sum up, I highly recommend students to consider studying in Japan, as it will certainly be a fruitful experience without having to spend a lot on education. And that brings me to the end of my presentation. I hope I've been able to give students and parents an insight into the study and work life in Japan. And I look forward to meeting you in Japan very soon. Thank you for your attention, and I hope to meet you all soon. Thank you. I will share the agenda slide once again. I hope that's okay, Mr. Takashi.
Yes, thank you. So thank you so much, Ms. Kuchi, for your wonderful presentation. We certainly got an insight about what it's like to actually study and live there. So next we have Ritsumeikan Asia Pacific University. And before I pass on the floor to Ms. Dipiti Singh, I would like to brief you very briefly about the Ritsumeikan Asia Pacific University. So it was established in 2000 with the goal of creating the future leaders of tomorrow. So it is actually located in Beppu. It's a little bit southern part of Japan, but it is very rich in tradition as well. And one point I want to emphasize is that they actually boast about almost 50-50 ratio of international to national faculty and student as well. So you can actually experience the multilingual and also multicultural environment there. So without further ado, I would like to give the floor to Ms. Dipiti Singh, who is the India representative of Ritsumeikan Asia Pacific University. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Takahashi-san. I'll be sharing my screen. Yeah, hello. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Deepti. I'm an alum of Ritsumikhan Asia Pacific University, APU, and currently I represent this university in India. So let me tell you more about our university. This university, Ritsumikhan Asia Pacific University, is more popularly known as APU in Japan and all over. The picture that you see here is actually of our campus. And our university was established in the year 2000 with the objective of having more and more international students come to Japan and study there. 20 years now, and now we have about 5,745 students who are studying, who have studied from our university. And as Takahashi-san just mentioned, that we boast of 50% ratio of international students. So we maintain this ratio every year. We have 50% international students on our campus, and the other 50% are native Japanese. And we maintain this same ratio with our faculty also. So 50% of our faculty, it comes from 21 different countries or regions. And the other 50% is, as expected, Japanese. When I speak of 50% being international students, they come from 90 different countries. So the campus, as you can imagine, it's really lively, very vibrant, very multicultural. Talking about the world's, the Times ranking, these are the Times rankings of Japanese universities. And in the past 20 years, APU has climbed up the ladder of rankings really fast. We are 22nd out of 800 universities. And if you consider only private universities, then we are 5th. APU is located in the southernmost island, southernmost largest island, I would say. This red dot that you see here, this is APU. It is located in Oita Prefecture in the city called Beppu. It's a very mid-sized city, I would say, if you're comparing it with any of the larger cities like Tokyo or Kyoto or Osaka. It's way more cozy, everybody knows everyone kind of city. And it's a popular tourist destination because it has about 2,000 natural hot springs. I would say it's also very safe and more affordable than the bigger cities for students to live in here. Speaking about the courses that we have two colleges. One is College of International Management. The degree here is called BBA, which is Bachelor of Business Administration. It's a 4-year course. A student can choose to do specialization in either of these following. And they don't have to choose the specialization right away. They can initially in the first year, students are taught the basics, the foundation subjects, and along with Japanese language. And later on, once they are confident of what they want to pursue further, they can finalize on their specialization much later in the second or third year, whenever after speaking to their seniors, their professors, and figuring out what they want to pursue later. Our College of International Management is AACSB accredited, which means that it is counted amongst the top 5% of business schools all over the world. The other college that we have is College of Asia Pacific Studies. Here the degree is called Bachelor of Social Sciences. Again, it's a 4-year course, and one can specialize in 4 of these, either of the 4 specializations. Similar curriculum is followed for APS also. Here, a student will learn the basics and the foundation subjects in the first year, along with the Japanese language, and later on they can finalize which specialization they want to pursue later. Language education is an integral part of APU's curriculum. So we encourage all the Japanese students to learn English, and similarly, all the international students are mandatory. They have to study Japanese language at least for a year. Although there are courses in intermediate level and advanced level also. So for the students who are looking to work in Japan, in future, we encourage them to pursue advanced level of Japanese also, but 1 year of Japanese studies is mandatory at APU. We have other language courses also, such as Chinese, Indonesian, Korean, Spanish, Thai, and Vietnamese. These options are also available for the students who are willing to learn one more language. Students do not need to, the freshers I'm talking about, when you apply to Japan and to APU, you need not worry about the accommodation. We have a dormitory on our campus, and for the first year students, this room is guaranteed for all the first year students, and the rent here is about 49,000 JPY per month. And all these rooms are fully furnished, so students do not really have to worry about anything. They are fully furnished with almost everything that you need. And the kitchen also is available. It's a common kitchen, big, large common kitchen with all the possible facilities. There are single rooms and there are double rooms also available. And second year onwards, students can move off campus if they want to experience more of Japanese culture and downtown life. There is an opportunity. You can move to downtown in Beppu city from second year onwards and share your accommodation with your friends. It comes out to be more economical also in that case. Talking about our campus, it is really vibrant. It has about 110 plus student-led organizations in sports, culture, arts, academics, ranging from different subjects. So if you're interested, if you have a hobby, you will certainly find your group there, and you can definitely participate in many cultural events that take place on our campus. Talking about the scholarship opportunities at APU. So APU has a tuition reduction program, which essentially means that the tuition that you pay to APU can be reduced by a certain percentage. So the tuition reduction may vary from 30% to 100%. And this tuition reduction is available pre-enrollment. So even before you enroll to APU, after the screening process, you will get to know which tuition reduction scholarship you have received. And this scholarship is valid for all 4 years. It is not just valid for the first year, it is valid for all 4 years. While this tuition reduction scholarship is for tuition, there are other private scholarships which are available post-enrollment, and these scholarships are to assist you with your living expenses. I will tell you more about the cost of tuition with an example. So let's say if you are able to secure 65% tuition scholarship from APU, in that case, your tuition per year would be about 3 lakh rupees. And there's an admission fee, housing entrance fee, renter's insurance. These 3 costs are only valid in the first year. But of course, there will be a cost of living, which means your rental, your food, transport, etc. That is approximately 7 lakh rupees. So including everything, your cost will be approximately 12, it will be approximately 12 lakh rupees. But as I said, the costs here, the admission fee, etc., and some insurance amount, this is valid only for the first year, not second year onwards. So what after you graduate, right? So we all worry about the job placements. So APU has a career office which is dedicated and to students, and its job is to bring bring companies to our campus for campus recruitments. And there are about 200 companies that come to our campus every year to recruit students. And our career office supports all the students with their internships, with their CV making, their interview skills. So there is a support system to support all the students to find placement, and the job placement rate is really high. It is 96%. As I mentioned, our campus is really multicultural. So the companies, they are global, and in today's world, they really appreciate the kind of values and the skill set that APU students, graduates are able to maintain on the campus. They have language skills, global perspective. These are some rare skills that they are able to develop living on such a multicultural campus over the years. Here's a list of major employers that come to our campus every year. And some of them are major employers, means they repeatedly come to our campus, and they have many APU graduates who are currently working there. For example, I'm sure there are many names that you have heard here. For example, Fujitsu, Google Japan, Sony, Nissan, Panasonic, Nissan. These are some of the major employers for APU. And in case if you want to go for further studies to graduate school, our graduates have made a cut to some of the known institutes such as University of Oxford, Singapore Management University, Harvard University, Yale University. So there are opportunities, plenty of them. So our applications are open right now for September 2022 enrollment. They opened on October 4th, and they will be open till the October 27th. This is phase 1, and there will be a second phase of applications which will open in March. It will open from March 21st till April 13th. So if you are considering to apply, I would suggest that you can visit our website and download this book called Undergraduate Application Handbook. And you can also alternatively go to this link and register yourself. By doing this will ensure that you get all the communication from APU about all the events that are going to happen in future. So just briefly how our application process really works. So we have 2 stages to our application. There is stage 1, which is online application. You have to fill in your online application details, and there is an online assessment test. It's a brief a test of your critical thinking ability and core abilities. This is stage 1, and then there is, if you clear stage 1, then there is stage 2, which is an interview of about 15 to 20 minutes. And if you clear both these stages, you will receive your final application result, and you will also receive your scholarship result. If you remember, I spoke about 30% to 100% tuition reduction. So you will, at this stage of your application, you will know whether or not you have cleared our application process, and also you will get to know the scholarship that will be valid for all 4 years for you. So if you're curious about APU's education and you want to experience it, there's a very good opportunity. In December this year, we are going to hold some mini lecture series, and it is for prospective students to really experience how our classroom learning is. So all the high school students, they are invited for applications. The applications are now open. I will, after this presentation, we will be sharing these slides with you. So you can either scan this QR code, or you can visit our website and get more information. So the application deadline for attending these lecture series is November 8th. All right, so that's pretty much it. And if you are residing in North and Northeast India, then I am your point of contact. Here are my contact details. You can always get in touch with me for more information. And for those of you who are residing in Central, South, and West India, Ishana Malkani is going to be a representative, and these are her contact details. For any information, you can always reach out to me on this number or email. Thank you. Thanks a lot. If you have any questions, you can put those down in the Q&A box. Also, you can follow us on social media. These are some of the channels that we have. Mr. Takahashi, can someone help me with the questions, please?
Thank you so much. I think there is one question, good question. We could answer live. Masters in Business Studies Management.
Okay. You want to know about Masters in Business
Masters in
Management?
Business Studies, yes, Business Management.
Yes, but I want to know what they want to know about Masters, because it's a very broad question. So we have a Master's program in Business Administration. It's MBA program. You need to, so it's a comparatively small school. We have about 200 students. And 98% of them are international students, and it is entirely conducted in English. But you have an opportunity if you want to study Japanese alongside, you can take some few credits in Japanese also, but they're very limited credits. So basically you will have to self-study more advanced level of Japanese if you wish to pursue Japanese side by side. It's a 2-year course, and there are scholarships available also for MBA course. Just one point of caution that we require, because our college is AA CSB accredited, we require 3 years of work experience. It's mandatory for all the applicants to have at least 3 years of work experience when they apply to APU, but it can be 3 years by the time you enroll also. So for example, if you're planning to enroll next year and you're applying right now, but you plan to continue working, then by the time you enroll, it is going to be 3 years. So it will be valid. I hope that answers your query. If there is anything more you want to know, you can always reach out to me. I will leave my, I will quickly go back to my number here and my email.
Okay, so Ms. Deputy, there is one question. It is TOEFL or IELTS mandatory? All
right. So for the students who have had their last 3 years of education in English, now it's not mandatory to have IELTS or TOEFL. You can just provide us a certificate stating that you have had your last 3 years of education from an English medium school, and that should do.
Okay. So another question was, are there any internship opportunities at APU?
At APU, or if you are a student of APU? I'm not sure. Okay, I'll answer both. I'm not sure if you're talking about APU because I wouldn't know about that. Yeah, I don't know. But if you're a student at APU, our career office certainly assists you with a lot of internship opportunities during the vacations, and otherwise also if it's short, you can always do internships. So recently we had one of our graduates, I'm particularly talking about Indian students here because that might interest you more. So we had 2 of our graduates. One just interned in a company called Salesforce, and there was another one who interned at TCS Japan. So likewise, there are many internship opportunities. Sometimes students are able to find those opportunities on their own through their network of seniors and friends, or LinkedIn and other sources. But there is career office, and they also support students with such information.
Okay, thank you so much. So I'm seeing a few questions which have already been covered by Ms. Dipti. So we will be uploading the recording. So please do check it out, and you have the contact details of her, so you can also connect with her regarding your personal question as well.
All right,
So
thank you. Thanks a lot. Yes.
Thank you so much for your wonderful presentation. So Ms. Kushi, can we have the agenda slide? Okay, thank you so much. So next up, we have the University of Kitakyushu. And before I'm giving the floor, I would like to brief you about the university. It is a very old and prestigious university in Japan. It's located in the Kyushu region. We will be hearing in details from professor himself, but just to brief you, it is very famous for its contribution to the local society and also the participation in overseas technical assistance projects as well. So without further ado, I would like to give the floor to Professor Masaki Nagahara, who is a professor in the Institute of Environmental Science and Technology. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Takahashi. Hi, everyone. How are you? I'm Masaki Nagahara, and I'm happy to share the information of my university for you. So please enjoy my presentation, and I will share my slide now. Okay, so my university is the University of Kitakyushu, and I think you know where Japan is, but I don't think you know where Kitakyushu is. So I will explain. So here is India, and here is Japan. And the Kitakyushu is located here, my place, Kitakyushu. And this is the north part of Kyushu Island here. And actually, Kitakyushu means Kita, and Kita means north, and Kyushu, this is the name of this big island. So Kitakyushu is located here, and this is a very beautiful place. Okay, so first of all, I will introduce myself. I'm Professor Masaki Nagahara, and I'm researching control theory, machine learning, and signal processing. And I'm also a visiting professor at Indian Institute of Technology, Bombay and Guwahati. And actually, I have visited IIT Bombay for 8 months in 2018. And this picture, the center picture, is the lecture at IIT Bombay by myself. And I have been also awarded many international awards, like George Axelby Outstanding Paper Award from IEEE Control System Society. And when I visited India, I met very famous professor in India, Professor Vidyasagar, who is working at IIT Hyderabad. And he's actually one of the most famous engineering professor, and I've been collaborating with him for a long time on the topics of control theory and machine learning. Okay, so my university has graduate school of environmental engineering, and I'm teaching in the computer science course of the program of information engineering in this graduate school. And in this program, as a master course student or a PhD course student, you can study, for example, machine learning and artificial intelligence, signal and image processing, communication systems, including wireless network using 5G technologies, or control engineering and robotics, VLSI systems, and software engineering, and so on. So you can study many topics of engineering in my graduate school. Okay, so if you are interested in my university and in the graduate school of environment engineering, you can visit this homepage. I will share this link in the chat window later, so please visit. And here, this picture, the left picture shows the campus of my university, and you can see many greens and very beautiful lake here. And actually, this place is very beautiful near beautiful beach. And also, you can, if you study in this university, you can live in very decent student hostels like this. And the living cost in Kitakyushu, in this place, is very cheap. Actually, it's much cheaper than, for example, in Tokyo. So you can enjoy university student life in this beautiful place. So if you are interested, please visit this homepage and check information of my university. And actually, many friends of mine visited this place, and some are from India. And this is a beautiful beach near my university. And this is a Kokura Castle, the samurai castle in my place. And also we enjoyed beautiful Japanese food in a very old restaurant. So you can enjoy many old cultures in Japan, and also nature, like this beautiful beach. Okay, so today I will share the research topic of myself instead of showcasing many research topics by many professors. So we focus on the topic of some researches on automatic control and machine learning today. Okay, so automatic control is my major, one of my majors, and in particular, I'm researching very actively of control theory, which is a mathematical theory of control. Namely, this includes optimal control, which is optimization with differential equations, and systems theory, such as controllability, observability, or stability of a system. This is very important theoretical topics, but the topics can be applied to many practical systems like drones and personal mobilities, which is shown in this picture. This is a wheelchair, and this is automatic wheelchair, and robots like this, humanoid robots. And also, very recently, I'm researching super smart society with social experiments, which is very big project in my city, Kitakyushu. Okay, so my video of drone control experiments. So this drone has a camera here, and this camera detects the objects in the floor. And using machine learning like deep learning, the drone detects one of three objects. and this drone is landing on one of the objects like this. Okay, so then this drone does some task at this point, and then this is taking off like this, and then this drone again detects the other objects on the floor by using image recognition and computes which points the drone should land on. Is computed by using machine learning techniques, and this is implemented by Python code. And finally, this drone, okay, landed. And this experiment was mostly done by undergraduate students in my university. And this is a very nice topic to study control theory by using real applications like drones. So you can enjoy such experiments in my university. This is very good experiments. Also, I can show another experiment of autonomous vehicle. So this vehicle is controlled by the laptop computer on the vehicle, and this tracks the red line on the floor by using the image recognition techniques. And so this is a very easy experiment of autonomous vehicles. Okay, so now the two experiments are on control theory or control engineering, and I also research machine learning and data science. For example, I'm very much interested in sparse modeling from small data, and this is also known as compressed sensing. And also, of course, we study deep learning, image recognition, which is a very hot topic in this research field. And also, system identification is important for dynamical systems like drones and vehicles. And also, using machine learning and statistics, we analyze some social data, like medical data, social data, sport data. Sport data means the data from, for example, the Olympic Games 2020, and COVID-19 data, which are very important to analyze by using machine learning techniques. So you can also study such data analysis technologies in my university. Okay, this shows a multi-agent simulation by a computer, and this is a simulation in a classroom, and where many students are here, and at emergency they should exit from this room through this exit doors, and we simulate how efficiently exit the people from this room. So we simulate by using computer, and the students gather at the two doors of the classroom, and they exit the classroom like this. This is a computer simulation, and this is very useful for designing a room in a building or something like that. Okay, this is called multi-agent simulation, and this is also very interesting topic of computer science. Okay, so if you are interested, please send me your message to my email address. I will share this email address in the chat window later. And also, so if you want to study in my university, please let me know. But I will also offer some internship opportunities for a few undergraduate students on the topics of automatic control or machine learning. More precisely, mathematical optimization, optimal control, machine learning, and network science. So if you are interested in internship with me by using my under my research project, please also let me know. So that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Professor Nagahara. I think it is a wonderful opportunity for us who are especially interested in robotics and mathematics and data. Yeah. So he has given us a wonderful opportunity. If you're interested in internship opportunities in Japan under him directly, then yes, please do contact him. And there were actually several questions which we already answered in the Q&A portal. But I think, yes. So there's one of the question is, do we need to learn Japanese before we apply to your university?
Yes. Okay. For master course and PhD course, you don't need to study Japanese. But for undergraduate course, unfortunately, we only offer classes in Japanese. So for undergraduate courses, you need to study Japanese and you need to speak Japanese. But for master course and PhD course, you don't need to speak Japanese. But however, if you visit Japan, it's very nice opportunity to study Japanese language. So please study Japanese in Japan. It's a very nice opportunity. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much. So there was another question. Yeah. How long is the internship? I think he or she is referring to the internship opportunity. How long?
Yes. Yeah. Okay. It depends on the program, but on the average, it takes 2 months or something like that. And you study some mathematics, and I will share some data, and you analyze data, and I will check once a week, for example, and I will give some advices, or my students will give advices, and you can study and work with data and mathematical programs.
Yes. Yeah. So thank you so much. And most of the questions were answered by our team in the portal. So to the viewers watching now or who will be watching later on, if you're interested in robotics, if you're interested in engineering and all of that stuff, please do contact Professor Nagahara. And he has given us a wonderful opportunity for internship. So if you're interested in that as well, please do mail him personally. So yes, thank you so much, Professor.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for your wonderful presentation.
Thank you.
So, yes, thank you so much. So next we have the list, Tokyo International University. So as the name suggests, it is in Tokyo, and we will be hearing in details. But just from my side, it is also a very old university and a very prestigious one as well. And it also has a lot of undergraduate schools and graduate schools as well. And it also boasts a very international and rich multicultural, multilinguistic environment in the university. And they are very famous for their research activities as well. So without further ado, I would like to give the floor to Mr. Ben Sorbrook, who is the admission counselor for the Tokyo International University.
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. Takahashi, and thank you everyone for joining us for this presentation tonight. My name is Ben, and as mentioned, I work in Tokyo International University's E-Track Admissions Department, which is our English track program. And that's the program that I'll be talking about tonight, our E-Track undergraduate program. So without further ado, I will go ahead and begin. All right, so as I mentioned, I'll be talking about Tokyo International University's E-Track undergraduate admission program for our 2022 enrollment period. So as Mr. Takahashi said, Tokyo International University is a fairly old university. It was founded in 1965, and we're located in the greater Tokyo metro area in an area called Kawagoe. However, our English track program began just 6 years ago in 2015. And in those 6 years, we've gone from just over 40 international students to about 1,300 international students at the university, and they make up 20% of our student body, and the vast majority of those international students are in our E-Track program. These students come from 68 different countries around the world as well, including a large number of students from Bangladesh, India, Nepal, Sri Lanka, as well as many other countries around the world as well. And our faculty is also quite diverse as well. 70% of our professors come from outside of Japan for the English track program, and they come from all around the world. We have professors from the United States, from France, from Kenya, from India, from Sri Lanka, from Indonesia, from Taiwan, from Turkey, from Syria. So you're going to be getting a really diverse perspective, not only from your fellow students, but also from your professors as well. And we think that's something that can definitely benefit you in the long term. Now, I did mention that we're located in the greater Tokyo metro area. Currently, we're about a 35-minute train ride from central Tokyo. However, in fall of 2023, so in 2 years now, we're opening up a brand new campus, our Ikebukuro campus in, I'm sure you can figure it out, in Ikebukuro. Now, this campus will be where all of our English track courses take place. And we're really excited because it's going to open up a lot of possibilities for students. Kind of, studying right in the heart of Tokyo is going to be very helpful. And for any of you who are looking to apply to our programs in either 2022 or 2023, either all or the vast majority of your time at TIU is going to take place on this brand new campus. Now, you've heard from some other universities in Kyushu, but we're located in the Tokyo metro area. And we just like to talk a little bit about why we think studying in Tokyo in particular is so great. The QS has ranked it as the second best student city in both 2018 and 2019. They actually didn't release any rankings in 2020 and 2021, but that's due to a number of reasons. It's an exceedingly safe city. It's been ranked as the safest city in the world by The Economist a number of times. The public transportation is amazing. There's trains everywhere. You have no need for a car. It's relatively affordable, particularly compared to places like London or Sydney or New York City. Particularly in terms of rent. And it's also just a really fun city. As somebody who did a short-term study abroad in Tokyo, I can tell you it's one of the funnest cities in the world to live in, and I really recommend it for students. Now, getting into our E-Track program, our undergraduate degrees, we have 3 majors available for our undergraduate program, and they are all English taught degrees, so you don't need to know any Japanese before you come to our university. And they are, in principle, 4-year degree programs, although we do have some early graduation options for high achieving students. Our 3 majors are International Relations, a brand new Bachelor of Science that we have in something called Digital Business and Innovation, and then, of course, Business Economics. Now, Business Economics is your more traditional business degree. Within each of our majors, we have something we call focus areas for students to really hone their skills in. They provide kind of an outline or a path for you to take if you're really interested in one of those areas. So for example, in business economics, we have things like management, marketing, finance, economics. And this major, our professors really pride themselves on teaching you practical skills that you can use outside of the classroom because they want to prepare you for the workforce. Now, our brand new major that I did mention is this Bachelor of Science in Digital Business and Innovation. So this major is very unique. It's the only one of its kind in Japan at the moment that's taught in English. And it really looks at the intersection of technology and IT and how that interacts with the business world and many of these new technologies that are popping up. Because it is a Bachelor of Science, it is a little bit more math focused, slightly more science focused. So if that's something that you feel strong in, this might be a great major for you. And again, we have a number of focus areas, and students can study a wide variety of topics, from artificial intelligence to things like cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology. They can learn programming. We have big data analytics courses, which is a fast growing industry, things like digital marketing, or even how to create your own startup, things like that. And we really think this is a relevant modern major for students in today's day and age. Along with this major, we partnered with a global tech company called Tech Mahindra. You may have heard of them. They're, I believe, the third largest IT company in India. And we opened up an innovation lab with them. And another thing that we're really happy that we were able to do is we began a career experience practicum with Tech Mahindra. So now twice since we have started this program, once a year for one semester, students are able to take this career experience practicum for course credit, and they get to work with the executives at Tech Mahindra and learn all about what it's like to work in that industry. So it's really helpful for students to be able to get kind of a grasp of whether or not that's something that they want to do. And they do, lots of case studies, and their kind of final project is presenting to the execs at Tech Mahindra. So if you join the DBI major, this is definitely an opportunity for you. Our final major is international relations, which I'm sure many of you know. It's kind of the studies of how the world works, how nations interact, why conflict happens, how international trade kind of affects the world. And of course, we have a number of different focus areas within this major as well. But one thing that we like to mention about this major is just how flexible it is. While many students from this major go on to, maybe go to, master's programs and end up working for international think tanks or the UN or their local governments back home. Many students from this major are able to go into the business world as well as, risk consultants, or maybe working in the international PR arm of a multinational corporation. And that's just because of how flexible this major is and kind of the international perspective it provides for students. So if you're interested in that, this is definitely a great major for your future. Now, I did mention that you don't need to know any Japanese before coming to Tokyo International University. However, we of course offer Japanese language courses from elementary all the way to advanced courses. No prior knowledge is needed, and you definitely can achieve full fluency by graduation. We have many students that do. And also many of the students that hit that full fluency, they spoke little to no Japanese before they came. Most of our students do. So you won't be kind of all alone in that. There's lots of other students who are learning just along with you. We do require at least one semester for students so that they can, learn how to survive in Japan. But we definitely encourage you to continue to take it, particularly if you're hoping to work in Japan in the future. Now, another thing that we just like to mention is about our professors. I really believe that the professors at TIU are one of the best aspects of the university. And as you can see, almost 60% have graduated from or taught at the globally ranked, in one of the globally ranked top 100 universities. Now, this is important for a number of reasons, not only because you're going to be getting kind of a high pedigree and a high level of education from our professors, but it also is really important if you're hoping to do things like apply for master's programs or do research in the future, because those connections and that experience is going to be really useful for you as a student. Now, of course, we also know that moving to a university abroad can be, really frightening for many students. So we do have an entire office dedicated to daily life support for students called the International Exchange Office. And they do a number of things from airport pickup to helping students open a bank account. And we even provide interpretation services if you need to go to the doctor or have any sort of emergency. We also like to mention that we have a fully halal-friendly and canteen that also has a number of vegetarian options. It's completely halal certified because we know that that's really important for some students. But also, both around our current campus and our brand new campus, there are a number of halal certified restaurants and a number of restaurants with vegetarian options, as well as supermarkets that cater to both those needs as well. Because again, this is really important. You know, you're moving, you want to make sure that you have those vegetarian options or culturally specific foods. So this is definitely something that you will be able to get at our university. TIU also has a large number of extracurriculars available. We know how important it is to not only, you know, have good studies at university, but also have a really good time outside of the classroom. We have a, you know, a lot of different sports, from soccer to baseball. You know, you can see archery, American football. We have a golf club, things like that that you're definitely able to do. But we also have a number of other clubs that aren't sports, like photography. We have an amazing hip hop dance team. We have an orchestra team, even a TED Talks club that just got started by our international students that we're really excited about. And we also have a model UN team that was started entirely by the international students at our university. And they are right now one of the strongest teams in Japan, and they are continuing to just show us really how amazing they can be. They're hosting both on campus and off campus events. And as soon as the pandemic abates, they're really excited to go forward for international events in the future. We, of course, have dormitories available as well for students, a number of different options available, both single and shared rooms. They, of course, come fully furnished, and they are comparable in the rent in the area, so no need to worry about that as well. There are also exchange programs for students. We know that, you know, you might want to do a semester abroad somewhere during your time at university. So we have over 300 destinations around the world. And we also have a sister school called Willamette University, located in Salem, Oregon, that we have a couple programs with, including a dual degree program and an MBA program as well, that you can combine your undergraduate and MBA degree for a 5-year course. Now, we know that studying at university is important for a lot of reasons, and one of those, of course, are, you know, finding a good job in the future. So we, of course, have a full-service career center at our university. They provide everything that you would expect in both Japanese and English language support. And so they'll do resume review, job counseling. They bring companies to campus to hold information sessions. They have a career fair, and they can even directly introduce you to companies that are looking to hire international students. And they're continuing to build partnerships year after year. Now, I'm sure many of you know that the way the job hunting system works in Japan is a little different from other countries. You spend most of your 4th year job hunting, may even begin at the end of your 3rd year. And so most students receive job offers prior to graduation. One thing we're really excited about is the fact that we have a 95% job placement rate for our international students for the 2020 school year. And the last 5%, there's a number of reasons, but many of those students we haven't exactly told us where they're going yet either. So the number is in actuality much higher than that. However, if maybe this is not the path that you're going down, maybe you're looking to do other things, you can get a job hunting visa for up to 1 year post-graduation. And also, we just like to mention that work visas are very different in Japan than they are in countries like the US. There is no lottery system. Generally, if a company is willing to sponsor your visa, you're able to apply for it and you're able to renew it any number of times. There's no limits, there's no caps. So it's a much easier system than places like the US. Now, moving on to costs, because we know that that's very important to students. In general, tuition at Tokyo International University is about 1.4 million yen per year, about 12,800 USD per year. However, we do offer merit-based tuition reduction scholarships to all of our students as well. They come at rates of 30, 50, 80, and 100%, and they reduce the tuition that you pay at the university. Now, we know that many students worry about this. However, the wonderful thing about our scholarship program is that you apply at the same time that you apply for admission to the university. So when you're submitting your application, you check a box, just write a quick paragraph about why you would like a scholarship, and you'll find out your scholarship result at the same time that you find out your admission result. And so it's quite easy, you'll know right away. And the majority of our students are receiving some form of merit-based tuition reduction scholarship. So we do have, plenty to go around, and we really encourage students to apply for them. We also have a Model United Nations scholarship. If you're looking to join our international relations major and have previous Model UN experience and want to join TIU's MUN team, you can apply for an enrollment fee waiver. And then we also like to mention some government scholarships as well. So the JASO scholarship provides living stipend for students, about 48,000 yen per month for your first 6 or 12 months. And the reason we like to mention this is that we have an almost 100% acceptance rate for this scholarship. You apply for it after you enroll, but it's a really great way to help support yourself during your first semester or two at the university, particularly as, you know, or maybe learning the Japanese language or learning kind of what life is like in Japan. And we also just like to mention that students are able to work part-time in Japan, up to 28 hours per week while classes are in session. And in the Tokyo area, the minimum wage, or like generally the average wage, is around 10 to 12 USD. And depending on the job, it might require Japanese, it might not. But we also have a number of on-campus jobs available for students as well. You know, talking about eligibility for the university. So when you apply, our screening criteria are generally, we require you to submit your transcript and any standardized tests that you have taken. We require an English proficiency test, and also a statement of purpose. And then, you know, of course, your basic information, a letter of recommendation. And of course, if you have any extracurriculars, we encourage you to put those in as well. Our screening criteria for both admission and our scholarships are based on those things. You know, most importantly, of course, your transcript in high school, your English proficiency test, and your statement of purpose. Those are going to be the things that we encourage you to focus on. Now, we accept a number of different English tests. We accept IELTS, Duolingo, and TOEFL, of course, on screen. But we also accept the TOEIC, the ACAN, the Pearson exam, the Cambridge exam. And if you have taken your O-levels or A-levels in English, or if you have taken the IB English exam, we do accept all of those as well. The minimum score that we require, for example, on the IELTS is a 5.5, but we do encourage you to get as high as you can. Right now, maybe the average accepted student has maybe around a 6 to 6.5 on the IELTS. And of course, if you want a better scholarship, it's better to get even higher than that. We can't say any specific numbers for any you know, specific level of scholarship, because we do have a holistic application. We're going to be looking at kind of everything. So there's no kind of one thing that will guarantee you anything, but just, you know, work as hard as you can on those things and it'll definitely help you. And then finally, we just like to mention kind of our application periods for our undergraduate admission. So we just finished up our second application period for our April intake, and we have one more in November. So if you're looking to join us in April, you will need to apply this November. And if you're looking to join us in September, we have 4 application intakes. We have one in November of this year, and then 3 more next year. One in January, one in February, and one in April. And you can see roughly when the results get announced, and then when we have various payment deadlines, as well as visa document submission deadlines. So if you have any more questions, that's the end of my presentation. So definitely, if you have any questions, please put them in the Q&A box, and I would love to answer them. But I'll go ahead and open that up now and see if there's anything. So somebody asked if we have architecture, and unfortunately, the 3 majors that we do have are business economics, digital business and innovation, and international relations. So we don't have any architecture. And then somebody asked about the April 2022 intake. Thank you for that question, Aparna. If you're looking to join us in April of next year, our final application period will be in November. So next month, November 3rd to November 24th. I'll go ahead and put our contact information up on the screen, as well as things like our application guidelines. So if you're looking for kind of more details about what you need to submit, we definitely encourage you to check that out. But more importantly, we do have an office in India. It's just india@tiu.ac.jp. Definitely reach out to them because they'll be able to walk you through the entire admissions process, because we know how, you know, sometimes it's really confusing for students. So we definitely like to help out students with that as well. I think somebody asked, is our India office only for Indians? No, you definitely, if you are living in any country in the area, please feel free to reach out to them, or you can reach out directly to our other admissions team. Both can help you. And somebody else is asking for my email address, so I'll go ahead and put that in as well. And then we have a question about graduate programs. So thank you for that question. So we do have graduate programs at our university. However, I am on our undergraduate admissions side. I did put in the master's admission or the graduate admissions team email address as well as our website. So please definitely check out those so that way you can learn more and reach out to them directly. They'll be able to help you with that. Somebody asked if we have media management, and unfortunately, we don't have that. And then we have a question about our digital business and innovation major. Somebody asked, does it include coding? Yes, we do have a number of coding courses available in the digital business and innovation major. There's also, courses that aren't coding, but it's definitely something you can learn, and we have many students learning coding right now in that major. Gaurav asked, will a JLPT certificate help while applying? And that's a great question. We don't require the JLPT. However, if you have taken it, you can put that under your extracurriculars. And I think that's definitely a great way to show that you've been working on something outside of the classroom as well. And then we have a question from someone about a master's in museology, I believe maybe museumology. I cannot tell you whether or not the JLPT and TOEFL are important for that, but I imagine either an English score or a Japanese score would be important. And then another question about PhD programs. I'm sorry, I cannot answer. And then one about anime, and I apologize about that. Yes, so I'm going to go ahead and give you our admissions email address for anyone who's asking about that. And if you have any questions, please directly reach out to us about that. We would love to help you. Somebody asked about master's intake 4 times a year. Again, I believe it's only once or twice per intake period. But again, I would go check out our graduate admissions page directly. So that way you can see exactly when that is. Somebody asked about public relations or advertising at our university, and we do have a marketing focus area within our business economics degree program, as well as a number of PR and advertising courses. So it's definitely something you can do. And then I believe the final question right now is we have programs related to 3-dimensional designing. And unfortunately, no, we don't have any 3D design courses at our university. And I believe I have gotten through all the questions.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your hard work.
Thank you so much. And thank you everyone for staying this late with me. I really appreciate it.
Right. Thank you so much. So to our viewers who joined on later on, so all of this, the whole recording will be uploaded into the website. So please do check it out. And also the wonderful panelists have shared their respective universities' websites. So you can actually visit it and also contact them directly. So all of them are very friendly and interactive, as you already saw personally. So they will be more than happy to assist you personally, catering to your needs. So once again, this was Study and Work in Japan, session number 32. I'd like to thank all of our viewers who stayed till the end, and all of our wonderful panelists who gave us a very comprehensive understanding about what it's like to study in Japan and also what it's like to study in their respective universities. So I think that summarizes it all. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.